tried to sneak that in there. I saw you.
I did. I was trying so hard.
You tried to sneak some Mexican cha-cha talk into the open live, and nay. If you're looking for it, hang around. I'll tell you all about the Mexican cha-chas at the end of the show. Before we do that, it's Super Bowl week, baby. Super Bowl storylines, the best of them coming at you. Super Bowl 55.
Nope.
This is the
Nope.
What is it?
60.
Oh, what is LV? Is that what it is?
60.
Okay. Ray's a fucking cunt tonight. Huh?
LX. It's actually LX.
I'll tell you what. That's the second time you've been corrected by a retard in the past 5 minutes.
I don't want to be here.
What was the other time?
Why don't we start with some opening takes like we always do? Go ahead.
Me? Thank you. The last 3 Super Bowls have all been won by the underdog. Eagles last year, Chiefs the year before, and the Chiefs again in 2023. Teams that had coordinators leave for a head coaching job. Clint Kubiak is one of them. He's set to be the Raiders head coach. Their record is 1-12 in Super Bowls. Teams fighting back noise after having a PR week of the Super Bowl. Seahawks selling the team 0-6. Teams wearing white in the Super Bowl are 16-5. Patriots will be wearing white. Numbers don't lie. Stats don't lie. Nerds are always right. Patriots by 1 billion come Sunday. Thank you very much.
That was like the best opening take Raymond's ever had. He sounded like a ranting child that was just spouting off reasons.
Numbers!
I loved every second of it, and that was great.
He's very giddy. And I'll go with my opening take based on everything that Ray said. Hammer the Seahawks. Hammer them, hammer them, hammer them. Bobby, your opening take.
Oh, wait. You gotta go a little slower. I gotta get to there.
No one can go as slow as you need, Raymond. Try to keep up.
True.
Well, here we are. It is Super Bowl week, and I have to say, I am quite excited. It has taken a whole week for this to sink in, and it has been about 2 weeks about how everybody in America still, guess what, hates the Patriots. Who would have known? Kraft, Belichick, they can't get into the Hall of Fame, even if they were to personally blow every member of the Hall of Fame. And I'll tell you what, and like Raymond said, when the Patriots win, everybody's going to hate them that much more.
Bingo.
It's good to be back. Obviously, we got a lot of Patriots Seahawks talk. Super Bowl 61, as I'm told, I think. We'll be
60.
going over that. Oh, sorry. Things to look for in that game. We'll do a little Oh, there we go. Thank you. Everyone's so kind in the show. The storylines around the Super Bowl outside of the teams themselves, we'll get into a little bit of that. Outside of the Patriots, which will be mostly Patriots in Super Bowl 63 here tonight. We will also do a little bit of Celtics talk. There was some news out of that camp. We've got this or that with Chief Bobby. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Super Bowl week. Welcome to the show. If you're watching on YouTube, Ray, this is 2 weeks in a row. Pretty bad. Let's try to step it up. Bobby, new room. I like that. You're welcome. Otherwise, listeners and viewers, if you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends. As always, tell your mothers. That opening little graphic there that you did there, Ray, great job on that. Sincerely. Can I tell you what I have never been able to get into in all of the Super Bowl's pitches in? Super Bowl week. I don't give a shit about the stupid reporters that know nothing, that come and ask dumbass questions and media day and all that bullshit. Like 2000, not to be the old guy here, like 2001, like those Super Bowls, it seemed like it was still more of it was less of a show. It was more kind of like the boots on the ground, beat writers. You'd get some intakes and inside shit. And that felt a little bit more real. This is just nonsense. It's just nonsense. And there's no good national publication anymore that's covering. ESPN obviously sucks. There's some good stuff here and there, I guess, but just media day in general, that whole thing, I can't get into it.
Mike Vrabel was asked, and I quote, "Is this a must-win game?"
It's like,
how do you answer? Like, what do you say to them?
I would just say yes, and that's it.
How do you guys feel?
I just would simply say yes, and I would just pretend that person didn't exist.
Is that like how I feel like when I ask you guys questions?
I thought you've been spot on today.
Just the phrasing of the way that came out of your mouth. is reason. That was frustrating to listen to. You made me think twice as hard as I need to understand what you were trying to ask or say. I wasn't even sure if it was a question. It's like the Charlie Day. Never mind. You don't even watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so it's not going to make a difference. Here's what might make a difference. Maybe still go get a free shirt. We all we need. Those still out there on.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're at the game, go over to San Francisco right now. If you're at the game, they have a pop-up shop up there. Go get the We All We Need sweatshirts, t-shirts. They have them all in stock: blue, white, black. They got all the colors. Go check them out.
Very good. Patriots Seahawks, some story lines, some interesting things to look for from the game. I put them in order that first came to mind. And the first thing that comes to me is Drake Maye, twofold. The injury is being talked up ad nauseum because it is the Super Bowl. He is a quarterback, and he apparently has a shoulder to his throwing arm. So rightfully so, they've been talking a lot about it. Question 2 is, how big of a deal is it? Is it a reason why he has sucked so bad in the playoffs? And will it be a reason that he does not perform in the Super Bowl?
It's actually it's a big thing because obviously he was asked about it. He said he's turned the corner, so it obviously is a problem. He's banged up. He played top three defenses in the NFL and the AFC road to the Super Bowl. Obviously, it's the big concern right now. He looked like shit against Denver. I mean, he got banged around again in Denver. But now the Patriots posted a video yesterday or this morning showing him throwing on the run. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he's good to go.
Speaking of videos getting banged around in Denver, your mother showed me something the other night that was spot on.
Was it?
No, it was actually horrific. Bobby?
This is going to end up being one of those things that get talked about all for 2 weeks, and then the second Sunday comes will be a complete non-issue. I don't think in the game it'll manifest itself. I think he'll be just fine. Whatever the shoulder injury was or wasn't, I don't know if that affected his play. Sunday he played like shit. The Texans game, that was a weather game, and I don't think he was injured in that game or in the Chargers game.
Yeah, I think it's fair to talk about, and if he does have some bad throws, that will be the reason why. That's what it will be. There were very peculiar misses in that Denver game, short and in the dirt, that we had not seen from him basically his entire career. So I think that is injury related, and if it took 2 weeks to clear up and they held him out of some practices and it cleared up, then great. But you can't say it's not a threat to get re-injured. I think it will have an impact. I think it's an impact going into this game. If he can gut through it, then good for him. But if he starts off and similar throws, look out.
Well, also earlier in the week too, last week he was quote unquote sick and didn't practice, but he was still in the building, going over game plans and stuff. If you were sick, you wouldn't want anyone else on the team getting sick. They'd send you home. So I think that was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You just go rest your shoulder, come here, look over the game plan, and then go home.
Never send the quarterback home, ever.
I think overall he's dealing with the shoulder injury to his throwing shoulder. I think whether that's a pain tolerance or on certain types of throws, or whether he's got to rear it up, whether it will affect him more on some throws than others. We may have saw that in Denver, and they held him out of practice intentionally for that injury concern, whether it would be maintenance and not aggravated, or wear and tear, or if he actually truly needed it. It's part of it. Like, he's going into the story with an injured right shoulder, period. How much that affects him in the game, obviously we will only know when he goes out there and play. There's no threat of him not playing. That's for sure. And I think a lot of that was gamesmanship by Vrabel and continues to be. So good on him for holding it to his vest and making the Seahawks think a little bit. But if you're the Seahawks, you just prepare for Drake Maye. And if Josh Dobbs comes in there, I think you're going to be okay.
Woohoo!
A lot is being made on Drake Maye, and if he does have a good game, if his shoulder is not injured, or if he can gut through, if he does have a good game, a real Drake Maye game, every person I've heard talk about this, it's in the bag for the Pats, and I don't think that is the case at all. I think Drake Maye could have a really good game. This still be a dogfight. I think Drake Maye has to have a really good game for this to be a dogfight. Do you think, Bobby, if he goes out there and a really good game for Drake Maye is 3 touchdowns in the air, 287 yards, a 74% completion percentage, and probably one fumble not lost. It's probably the best game that you might be able to ask for out of Drake Maye. If he does that, or do you have the Patriots in a firm win?
I think if he does that, they win the game. Whether or not they walk away with it, that's a totally different story. I think if he does that and the defense and the surrounding cast play like they have been in the past 3 games, I think they win the game. Then you're telling me if Sam Darnold has an equal game to that, where he's putting up those numbers and he's not fucking up and having his turnovers, that's how close the game is.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold's obviously a big question mark there. We can get to him, but it's JSN. I mean, I don't know if they've played. Chaisson was the best wide receiver in football this year, so they haven't played a wide receiver as good as him. And can they stop him? The Christian Gonzalez versus JSN thing, I hope to God they don't go that route, Mike Vrabel. I hope you do not put Christian Gonzalez one-on-one with JSN, because that's going to be a long day for Gonzo. He's not the type of player that Christian Gonzalez has success covering, and I don't think you have success in that type of defense, putting your number one guy against their number one guy. It's too easy. It's too easy to dissect and go somewhere else. So to wrap up the point, I just don't think Drake Maye having a big performance leads to a blow up by the Patriots. I think he's going to need to have a really solid game for them to stay competitive. And we'll see. We'll see if injury plays into that. Speaking of that Patriots, the next biggest Patriots defense, the next biggest storyline or thing that I think you need to look for the team to have success is the Patriots defensive front, which is what has been carrying them through these playoffs for sure. Ray put up a comment as I was in the middle of saying, Pats only win if we see classic shit show Darnold and Campbell can block. I don't agree with that. The Patriots...
Superfan Patrick Mooney is literally barely literate.
Not a lot of capitalization in that sentence. Grammar guru Ray didn't catch it that time, but I'm sure he will next time. I didn't say that. Don't get mad at me. Look, there's no question the Patriots front seven, the Patriots defensive front, defensive tackles, particularly Milton Williams, Christian Baremore, are going to need to have an impact in this game the same way they've been doing all year long, all through the playoffs. Obviously, you have a quarterback that has a history of getting rattled, has not shown it yet this year so far. But if you can get to him and get him rattled and get him moving, and obviously you're going to disrupt the offense. It's going to disrupt any offense. Fun stat I had from a piss poor performance, the worst performance from JSN and Darnold in the season was against the Minnesota Vikings, in which the Vikings blitzed 65% of the time and held Jackson Smith and Jigba to 2 catches, I think, and Darnold had a bad day. We all know the Patriots have been blitzing out their ass against these less than good quarterbacks through the playoffs. I would hope to see something similar up against Darnold.
I'll go. The biggest storyline right now from Seattle that no one's talking about, their starter, Charles Cross, he has a foot problem, and backup Josh Jones has an ankle and knee problem, both tackles, and their backup rookie tackle, Amari Knight, is now placed on injured reserve. Their tackles are all fucked. Their offensive line's banged up. No one's really talking about it. I think our defense...
That inside fucking information from Raymond today.
Our defense is going to feast. We'll be getting at Jesus Christ, Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yep, Jackson Smith and Jigba is not going to have time to get the ball. So yeah,
it isn't just Drake Maye having to win the game. The defensive line has to control the line of scrimmage like they have for 3 games. Stop the run. If the Seahawks can't run the ball, then they become one-dimensional, and then you have an average quarterback who's played well in Sam Darnold going up with one-dimensional in passing situations in which they will blitz and be able to spin the dial on defense, where they're going to do a different thing every time in passing situations. That's how they're going to create turnovers. That's how they can win the game.
It's a formula they've followed a lot in the playoffs here as their offense has sputtered, but really throughout the season. Throughout the season, the defense, if you remember, it was 9 straight games they let up a first possession drive by the opponent for a touchdown. But once the game settles in and declares itself, obviously the record speaks for itself, and Mike Vrabel tends to settle in and get his team in a place where they're successful. I think the same thing can happen here. We don't see there's no evidence to think that it wouldn't. But to your point, Bobby, getting a fast start and getting a lead, like any game, but certainly in the Super Bowl is going to take a lot of pressure off. And I look at Josh McDaniels and I look at Vrabel and the players and the experience that certainly you have more of an advantage if you're the Patriots from an experience standpoint, specifically in your head coach and your offensive coordinator. Do we see McDaniels and Vrabel come out aggressive? Do we see McDaniels? He's going to have 1 to 4 plays that we have not seen before, or have not seen this year at least, schemed up for when he needs them. I'm interested to see how aggressive they get off offensively first. Through the playoffs, it's been run, pass until they needed to make some action. I hope they don't do that. I hope they come out aggressive offensively and get the pressure on that Seattle offensive line, Sam Darnold, and let the D-line go to work there. I think that'll be interesting. And you take the coaching experience into consideration there. You got Mike McDaniel, 38-year-old rookie head coach for Seattle. Does that goes one or two ways? He's either too dumb to fail, or he's really conservative in a place where it's insane and you got nerves running through your ball. So I think coaching is is going to be a huge factor in the game. Here's another thing.
Can I jump in real quick? You talked about Minnesota real quick. They're the top 3 defense in the NFL after all the rankings are done. Seattle's path to the Super Bowl, they played the 49ers, who are 20th, and then they played the Rams, who are 17th. They really haven't played a defense like the Patriots yet in the postseason. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do. I think we can be like the Minnesota Vikings with the pressure that we can get to Sam Darnold. So I think it's something they haven't seen all playoff long, and is going to get to Sam Darnold. They're going to get after him.
It's going to be a key to the game for sure. I think that when you look at the Patriots defense versus the Seattle offense, Bobby, nailed it. When you make them one-dimensional, it's going to be a much harder game. I like that. I think that's your strongest matchup from a Patriots standpoint. So the key for me really does come down to offense and how efficiently Drake Maye can play the game. And I look at Mike, obviously McDaniels, who I just mentioned, obviously Maye himself. But I also understand that the Seahawks defense is in the bottom 3 or bottom 5 in tight end coverage. Hunter Henry has been quiet as a mouse all playoffs in physical weather games, which is really not his deal. Should be a little bit more open, even though potential weather here in San Francisco, at least it's going to be a little chilly out there. But look for Hunter Henry to have a good game. The coverage secondary for the Seattle is excellent. Diggs has also been quiet. And then you got, Bourne and Hollins out there. We'll see what they can do, but I'm looking for a big game out of Henry. The other side of the ball, this is interesting to me. And Ray, you mentioned it. Clint Kubiak has already been rumored to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I haven't sent you $25 yet because he hasn't been approved. Like, he hasn't accepted it.
Fair enough. Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks, of the Mike Shannahan tree. Listen to Bedard today or yesterday, whatever it was, talking about that Shannahan offense versus the McDaniels offense in game and adjustments. The Shannahan offense does what it does. And if it can create opportunities within its offense, it exploits it. And obviously the efficiency of that offense is very good. And the success rate overall is very good. However, in big games, it is yet to break through outside of McVay when he got Stafford, right? And had a completely loaded roster. Shanahan has fell flat. And Bedard was talking about the fact that they didn't have answers mid-game when the defense shifts or makes adjustments. They basically kind of have to go back to the couple things that the Shannon offense does versus the McDaniels offense, the Patriots, the Brady offense, which tends to adjust on the fly weekly, quarterly. We see it in game. They completely change their tactics. That'll be interesting to me. If Darnold is under pressure, if they can't get things rolling, what can Kubiak dial up, if anything? Is there anything in that offense, in that bag, that they trust Sam Darnold to attack with? Because like you said, the Patriots are going to get him. They're going to get after him. There's going to be pressure there
all day long.
Any thoughts on the secondary of Seattle and their coverage on Maye? Can they glean anything from these last playoff games and the poor performances, some copycat league shit from their secondary, making things confusing for them? Any inside information on that one there? Bingo Bango?
That's you.
Me? Very good.
Yeah.
So, what's the comparison right now? For the best defense in the league is between Seattle and Houston. But the consensus is Houston has the better talent. Seattle has the better scheme. So pretty much Mike McDaniel is known for having the best scheme with mixing up coverages. It isn't necessarily that their talent is there. They have very good talent, but they're constantly doing different and unique things on defense. So I think really more from a perspective of Drake Maye, I think really if he can be set up for success by McDaniels and by the coaching staff to understand what he's going to see or what he's potentially going to see, that's going to be helpful for him. That I really think he was more just overwhelmed by the defensive line talent that Denver faced. I don't think a strong secondary. If Maye can buy a few seconds to scramble off to the side, left or right, guys are going to uncover. It's always about line play.
Yeah, it's a good point. If the talent of the Seattle Seahawks is based in their secondary, and you have a little bit of not an advantage, but it's not as big a disadvantage on the left side of the Patriots line and their rookies, Campbell and Wilson. If you can get Drake a little bit more settled in the pocket, off platform throws, he can fit in the tight windows, down the sideline, one-on-one coverage. These are the things that he's good at, especially when he's not getting his ass blown out like a Tuesday Irene's every other play with the rush coming from his left. Positive thoughts there. All right. Who are you most worried about in this game? I gave you a couple options to go with, but Ray, why don't you give me either your top guy or a couple guys who you're most worried about in the Patriots
Hawkins.
heading into the game?
Jaylinn Hawkins. He's been lost in coverage. I mean, we shit on Christian Gonzalez all the time, but it's Jaylinn Hawkins. This guy against Cortland Sutton last week, 2 weeks ago, he was the one that gave up the touchdown. He was the reason why that 54-yard pass was completed. It's him. He's always the one. You always say they don't have a free safety on this team. That's what I'm most worried about right now going into Super Bowl.
Bobby?
I would say the offensive line on the left side, Campbell and Wilson.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah, that's them.
I would venture a guess the reason why is because they've sucked balls.
Because I think Maye doesn't have a good pocket presence yet. He hasn't developed it. So if he gets someone on his lap quick, we've shown that he will put the ball on the ground.
He's also has happy feet the past few weeks too.
I'm most worried about Drake Maye. I think it's the most weighted player on the field on either side of the ball. He is the most important player in this game for either side. He has to perform, and he has not in the playoffs to date, more or less. So that gives me pause. That gives me worry. You put a shoulder injury on top of it, and the jitters we saw from him in Mile High in his first championship game. He's top of the list, because if he doesn't go out there and play, Jaylinn Hawkins can give up 100 touchdowns. If Drake Maye can't throw any, it doesn't matter.
Can I put one that you didn't have on your list there?
Yeah.
Robert Spillain. I'm worried that if he can't go and his ankle is not 100%, he is the glue. I mean, like Bobby said, when Milton Williams and Robert Spillain weren't there, that Ren defense was atrocious.
Spillain's going to take the biggest fucking pain-killing shot you've ever seen in your fucking life. He is going to be so doped up on whatever the fuck he can take, and he's going to play the game. And then his ankle might explode after the game, but none of us give a fuck after that.
No, but he's going to get some reindeer juice or whatever the hell.
Reindeer piss.
Reindeer piss. He's going to strap an actual reindeer femur to his fucking ankle and go out there and
fucking go
get it done. Yeah, exactly. All right. Who are you not worried about? I'll give you Milton Williams and Baremore as the easiest ones. They're defensive tackles. Go somewhere else. Who else are you not worried about?
Stephon Diggs. I think this is his moment. This is what he's been dreaming for. I remember when he lost to the Chiefs, he was standing out in midfield just to get it all in and be like, one day I'll be there. He's going to be there. He's going to be showing up, showing off. This is his time to shine. Like, this is what he wants to do. This is, how you have those divas receivers, they only want to get paid. This guy wants a fucking championship so goddamn bad, and I think he's going to ball out on Sunday.
I have my doubts on Diggs, but go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, just in general, I'm not worried about anybody on the defense. I think the defense as a unit has shown up and performed. Hawkins is, he's probably the weakest link, but Yeah, I think that the defense is going to show up. I just more worry about if the offense can hold up their hand of the bargain. And
over under 1.5 defensive penalty DPIs for Carlton Davis.
Over.
Under. They're not going to throw any flags in this game.
You're saying the refs won't play a role in this game? Please.
Just one 50-yard DPI for Carlton Davis.
Yeah, it's going to be one 60-yard play, but yeah.
It'll lead to a touchdown, no big deal. And don't already start with the fucking ref conspiracy bullshit, you losers. You absolute dog shit losers. Oh, the refs are going to play. Shut the fuck up, especially in Super Bowls. Bobby's right. Refs almost never come into play in Super Bowls. Give me the list of game-changing calls from Super Bowls.
Right all fucking show.
Outside of your complimentary comments for Ray, I don't disagree with you. All right, let's take a quick break and throw to the headlines with the obvious one.
And thank you there, Richard. We are T-minus 5 days away from Super Bowl 60 XL. LX in Santa Clara, where the New England Patriots will be taking on
your mother's ass.
Seattle Seahawks, who, as of this writing, are 4-point favorites. Kickoff is 6:20. Other news: Robert Kraft will not be a Hall of Famer after he was not inducted this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame. The Celtics, who are winners of 2 in a row, take on the future top 10 player in the NBA, Cooper Flagg, and the Dallas Mavericks tonight at 8 p.m. They will be without Anthony Simons because he's been traded to the Chicago Bulls for a second-round pick for Nikola Vucevic. Second round. And other NBA news, trade deadline is this Thursday, and big names are set to be moved. Giannis, John Morant, James Harden, and Anthony Davis are all rumored to be traded. The Bruins got porked in Tampa in the Stadium Series at Raymond James Stadium, 6-5. Fights, goals, and controversy riddled the game. The Bruins play their last game Wednesday before the break against the Florida Panthers. Rich and Bobby are questioning what break. Well, it's the Winter Olympics, baby, of course. Coming from us from northern Italy, the opening ceremony is Friday, and we get 16 days of winter sports action. I know someone who's excited. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you, Richard.
The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Maye are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
Vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's QUE.